Yo, what is up guys? It's me, Zach Lee, and welcome back to the Zach Lee Show, where we talk about everything that went on in the NBA from the previous day. As always, you guys already know that you are the real MVPs for coming back each and every single day. But now let's just get into everything that did happen in the NBA yesterday. But first, I do have to give a quick shout out to the sponsor of this video, SeatGeek. A lot of you have been letting me know that you finally caved and went to see a live NBA game using SeatGeek, which is dope. Look, I'm trying to tell you, if you plan on going to a game or any live event, use SeatGeek. It's straightforward, simple, overall just the best way you could ever buy tickets. Use the promo code SDC for $20 off your first order. I'll have the links to download it in the description box below. But now with that out the way, on to the video. Let's go. You have to respect Derrick Rose. Regardless of what you might think about his abilities as a player now, you have to respect Derrick Rose. Taking into account all that he's been through, all the injuries, all the problems, just everything. I don't think anyone could blame him if he ever decided just to walk away from the game and never come back. But the fact that he's been through much and keeps coming back every single time, trying to prove that he can still play, it's admirable. Yesterday though, he took that to a whole nother level, as he absolutely blasted anyone that's doubting him, that's saying he can't play anymore, saying he should just call it quits, he's washed up, he's a bum, that the Wolves made a mistake by signing him. I mean, Rose just kept it 100% real here. This is how I feel about it, the whole perspective on it. You can have your perspective on me as far as I'm a bum, I can't play, I can't shoot, this and that. All right, cool. I have no hard feelings with that. I'm cool with that if that's how you feel, but at the same time, I don't need your validation. I know who I am. I know what type of player I am. So you respect that, and I respect that, and we should be all good. That's how I feel about it. That's what Derrick Rose said, and like I said, you have to respect Derrick Rose. And it sounds like he is on a mission, not to prove his doubters wrong, but to prove himself right, to prove to himself that he still has something to give to the game, that he can still produce on an NBA level. He's been saying this ever since the season started, since he signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers, that he can still play, that he still has a lot of stuff left. He even said it again yesterday. I just want to play and have an opportunity to show I can still play. Also saying that him being familiar with Coach Tibbs and some of the players on the Wolves like Jimmy Butler and Taj Gibson will help him feel more comfortable, and when he feels comfortable, he often plays his best basketball. I've been knowing them and been in battle with them for years, so it's comfortable. I'm very comfortable. Usually when I'm comfortable, I play well. I do believe that Rose still has some game left. I don't think he would keep coming back to the NBA if he didn't. Like, why would he keep trying to come back if he truly didn't think he could still produce? And I also think the Wolves are the perfect scenario for him to blossom, since he is comfortable with some of the players and the coach there. That being said though, just because Rose says that he can still play doesn't mean that he believes he can still play at pre-injury D Rose level. There's a big difference between saying you can still, go out there and do something, and saying, you know what, I can go back to my MVP all-star, one of the best players in the league form. He never said he could get back. All he said was, I can still play. So after hearing all of this, if you're expecting Derrick Rose to get back to his MVP levels, you're gonna need to lower your expectations, or else you're just gonna wind up being disappointed. It's time. I do not think the NBA is ready for this. Kawhi Leonard is coming back this Thursday. ESPN's Lisa Salters is reporting that San Antonio's Kawhi Leonard could return as early as Thursday's game against New Orleans. Barring a setback, Thursday versus the Pelicans is indeed the targeted return of Leonard to the lineup. That is according to Adrian Wojnarowski. And I'm sorry, but this has me geeked, because this time Kawhi Leonard should be coming back for good. There should be no more injuries, no more setbacks, no more complications. He should just be back. And there is still plenty of time for him to get all the rust off before the playoffs start. Towards the end of his first stint when he came back, it only took about 9 to 10 games before he started looking more like Kawhi Leonard again. So this time, with around 15-ish games left to play by the time he does come back Thursday, oh, for sure, he should be able to get really close to 100% back. And if he can get back to feeling 100% comfortable on the court by the time the playoffs start, then I feel truly sorry for whatever team San Antonio was matched up against in the first round. Because while everyone else had to endure the long, hard regular season, getting banged up, having all these minor injuries, their legs won't be 100% fresh, you'll have Kawhi Leonard coming in 100% fresh, 100% healthy, rested legs, rested body, rested everything, ready to do work, itching to play. And keep in mind that we are not just talking about another regular NBA player. We're talking about Kawhi Leonard here, a top 5 player in the league, and I'm pretty sure when healthy, he's still the consensus best defender in the NBA. We're talking about that level of a player. And also, not only that, keep in mind, but we're talking about the San Antonio Spurs as well, who despite not having Kawhi Leonard for all but 9 games this year, still have an above 500 record and are still in the playoff race. And that's also while having various other key players in and out of the lineup all season long due to minor injuries. You combine all of that, and yes, no team is going to want to face the San Antonio Spurs in the first round or at all in the playoffs this year. And also, I just want to point out that him coming back right now is probably the best thing that could happen for the San Antonio Spurs. Like, he legit just saved their season, because as hard as this might be to believe, the Spurs without Kawhi Leonard very well could have missed the playoffs this year. They're currently the 7th seed with a 37-29 record, but are only 1 game away from falling all the way to the 10th seed. And with how well the Nuggets, Clippers, and Jazz have been playing, without Kawhi, this very well could have been the first season in 20 seasons that the Spurs didn't make the playoff. 20 straight seasons of making the playoffs. Well, that still blows my mind. Some franchises haven't even made the playoffs 20 times in their existence. D-Rose trying to prove that he can still play, and Kawhi Leonard coming back to save the Spurs are all great stories. You know, that makes you feel really good inside, right? But of course, I had to save the best for last, as it seems yesterday was the day for comebacks, as the Milwaukee Bucks and Brandon Jennings have agreed to a 10-day contract. Blessed and grateful for a second chance coming from a franchise where I started. Of course, Kawhi Leonard and Derrick Rose are much bigger news than this, but I do gotta say that it's nice to see Brandon Jennings back in the league. I feel really bad for what happened to the guy. He was playing some pretty good basketball with my Pistons before he went down with that Achilles injury. That injury really messed him up. But the Bucks are in desperate need of some scoring and production off the bench, so hopefully this works out well for both sides. It gets the Bucks someone they can use off the bench for the rest of the season, and it'll get Brandon Jennings back into the NBA. That does it for all the news and updates from yesterday, though. Now let's take a quick look at the games from last night. The Spurs starting lineup really struggled yesterday. That's putting it lightly too. Like, they really struggled. Only LaMarcus Aldridge scored at least in double figures, and he only had 11 points on 5 of 16 shooting. It wasn't pretty at all. And OKC's bench actually played really well last night. They have one of the worst benches in the NBA, but you couldn't tell it last night. 50 points off the bench for OKC yesterday as they get the easy 104-94 win over the Spurs. The Washington Wizards looked exhausted out there yesterday, and they played like it too. That being said, Scott Brooks, head coach of the Wizards, still let his team have it after the game, saying, "I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in our guys. Not too many guys in the history of the game can go out and play the way we did tonight and have success. It's not acceptable." Jeez. 129-102 the final score. Miami's starting lineup shot a staggering 77% from the field yesterday. Dwayne Wade, though, did have to leave the game early in the 4th quarter with a hamstring strain and said he will not play in the Heat's next game against the Blazers. Not a pretty win, but still another win for the Clippers. 113-105 over the Magic, as the Magic, you know, they're not expected to win any game, so it was good that the Clippers won. Tobias Harris continues to play well for LA still with 21 points and 9 rebounds. No Devin Booker for the Suns yesterday, because prior to the game he said that he couldn't fully extend his arm. Sounds scary, but he should be fine. Even without him though, Phoenix scared the Hornets a bit as they almost mounted a huge 4th quarter comeback, but they just couldn't finish it off. 122-115 the final score. Dwight Howard dropped 30 points while Nick Batum had a great all-around game with 29 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. I feel like if you lose the Mavericks by nearly 30 points, the NBA should automatically punish you for tanking. I get that the Grizzlies are beyond terrible this year, but to lose to Dallas like this, how is that even possible? You have to reach a new level of bad. 114-80 the final score. Harrison Barnes with 25. There was all the action from yesterday though. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to smack that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more daily NBA videos. Remember to vote for the player of the day, but also remember the only players whose team won are eligible to win player of the day. And yesterday, that player was Damian Lillard with his 28 points, 8 assists, and 4 rebounds. Thank you once again for watching. I'll see all of you right back here tomorrow, but until then, I am out of here. Peace!